if your internal voice as a parent constantly tells you that you are not enough, or occasionally you have this voice that tells you you're not enough, don't be surprised as a parent when your child grows up and your child believes the same thing. Don't be surprised when your child grows up and your child believes that he or she is not enough. So as a parent, it is time for us to break that circle of what our thought is, what we're thinking of. It is time to look beyond and begin to reprogram our thoughts, because our mindset is the mirror of our children. Your mindset is the mirror of your child. So it is time for you to reprogram your thoughts so you can raise children that are empowered, because our thought is very important. So how can we begin to reprogram our thought as parents so we can raise empowered children? Now we must teach our children the power of inherited mindsets. So as a parent, what mindset are you passing down to your children? What mindset are you passing down to your generation? Now, many of us are parenting through beliefs we didn't choose. Most of us we did not choose our beliefs. Probably situations happened, environment, how we grew up, and a lot of things has made us to believe a lot of things we don't be, a lot of things we did not choose. Now, some of our beliefs are inherited. Some of us inherited our beliefs from our caregivers, from people around us, from situations and everything. But it is time for us to break free from this negative belief. The truth is that because your belief is the mirror of your child, your mindset is your child's mirror. Some of the beliefs a lot of us, probably some of the things a lot of us heard while we were growing up, you hear things like, why are you crying? Or you hear things like, boys don't cry. You hear statements like, you have to be perfect to be loved. You have to act in a certain way, to be loved and all that. A lot of us believed so many things. Our mindset, we inherited our mindset. So as a parent, what is that negative belief you heard while growing up? What is that thing you believe that you inherited but it's not doing you any good? Some of us heard things like money does not grow on tree. Some of us heard so many things that have been limiting us and preventing us from making progress. So what is that thing that you've heard that's not being a big service to you, that is sabotaging you, that is preventing you from being a better version of yourself? You can heal, but first of all, before you heal as a parent, you have to be able to name what you need to heal from, because awareness is the first step for us to transform ourselves. Awareness is the first step of transformation. So as a parent, you need to heal, but before you heal, you should be able to name those negative beliefs, those limiting beliefs that have kept you stuck for a while. You can't heal what you do not name. You have to be able to name it for you to be able to walk through your journey of healing it. Then what can you do again to begin to heal, to begin to transform this mindset, the right mindset, to your children? Speak daily declarations over yourself and your children. So what do you say to yourself? What do you say to your children? What do you say on a daily basis? Your words are seeds. Your words shape identity. Whatever you're saying to your child is shaping the identity of your child. Whatever you're saying to your child, they are not just mere words, they're not just mere statements, but they are seeds. They shape who your child turns out to be. For your child, what do you say? Do you tell your child you are enough? Do you tell your child you're capable? Do you tell your child you can do hard things? What are the things you say to your child on a daily basis? Because your words empower your child. Your words are seeds that shape who your child turns out to be. Even those moments, probably when you're with your child in the morning before they go to bed or when they get back from school, what do you say to your child? We must be intentional as parents to speak the right words to our children, because your words are seeds that shape the identity of who your child turns out to be. Another way we can raise children that are empowered by working on our mindset is to transform fear-based thoughts into thoughts that are filled with faith. So transform your thoughts that are fear-based into thoughts that are faith-filled ones. Now, fear can say things like, what if I fail? What if I fail trying out this business? Or what if I fail studying this course? But faith says, even when I fail, I am stronger. Even when I fail, I learn through the process. So as a parent, begin to reframe your thoughts, begin to reframe your conversation. Start to move from the point of fear to the point of faith-based. Don't be stuck in a fixed mindset. Don't tell yourself you can't do this, or don't tell your child you can't do this. Rather, what you can do, you can say, I am growing, I am learning, I am becoming better. Because your growth amplifies your children. Even if you make a mistake, you tell yourself, I'm going to get up, dust myself, and continue the journey. Because when you shift your thinking as a parent, you shift the atmosphere of your home. The atmosphere of your home will definitely have a new tone when you begin to think in a different way, begin to think positively. So it's important for us to shape our thoughts. It's important for us to be intentional with becoming better in our thoughts, because definitely we're going to transfer our thoughts to our children. Our children see through our mindset. Our mindset like a mirror through which our children see themselves. And who you become definitely is going to also contribute in who your child becomes. So another thing we can do as parents to be able to work on our mindset, to raise empowered children, is to use your voice to shape the identity of your child. Your voice is the loudest voice your child or your children will hear for years. When your children wake up, they hear your voice. In the afternoon, in the evening, before they go to bed, they hear your voice. Occasionally, consistently, they are hearing your voice as a parent. So how are you using that voice? How are you using that power to shape who they become? How are you using it to shape their identity? Your voice is the loudest voice your children will definitely hear for years. Are you using it to your own advantage? Are you using it to raise them? Are you using it to build them? Or are you using your words to bring them down? Or are you using your words to shrink them? Are you using your words to make them feel less of themselves? So as parents, we must be intentional to use our words, your voice, for the right reason. You must praise the effort of your child, not just the outcome. You must praise the effort of your child. Don't wait till your child achieves 100% before you can now say, oh, well done. You must praise the effort of your child. Even if your child is making baby steps, little steps, learn to praise their efforts, celebrate their character, tell them what they are doing. When you see them doing good things, when you see them using their manners, when you see them being kind, when you see them living your family values, learn to celebrate their effort, learn to point it out, and not wait for them to make a mistake. Then you point out their mistake, or when they are quarreling, or when they are having quarrel with their sibling, you now point it out. We must learn to celebrate the character of our children, because the labels we give to our children will definitely become the language they use for themselves tomorrow. So what labels are you giving to your children? What are you labeling your children with? What words have you made them to believe over time? Because those words, those labels will definitely become the language they use for themselves tomorrow. So if you use kind words on your children will grow to use kind words on themselves. If you use the good labels on them, if you tell them of how worthy they are, they will grow up to also see themselves in that light. So the labels you use for your children, the language you use for them, the words you use for them, whatever you use on your child will definitely become what they will use for themselves when they grow. Then the other thing we can do to begin to reprogram the mindset of our children is to rewrite your family mental narrative. Now, every family has a story they tell themselves. Every family has a story. What is the story of your family? What is the story you would like to pass down to your children and to the next generation? For example, if you hear things growing up like, okay, you can't, when you try something, you're going to make a mistake. Or when you hear things like, don't do this because you're going to make a mistake. You can create your own narrative in your family. You can tell them, in this family, we believe in growth. In this family, we embrace challenges. In this family, we rise stronger. Even when we make mistakes, we get up, we dust ourselves, and we continue. So what is that new narrative you want to create in your home? Because the new narrative you create in your home is going to shape who your child becomes. It's going to shape their thoughts. It's going to shape their mindset. It's going to shape the way they view themselves. So create a new family mantra, a mantra that everyone can memorize and repeat, a mantra that everyone can remember. For example, in this family, we are bold, we are spirit filled. In this family, we have growth mindset, we embrace challenges. What is your new narrative? What is the narrative you'd like to pass down to your children? You want the narrative you want your children to internalize, that will help to build your children. Create it, begin to teach it to your children, and over time it's going to help them to see themselves in a positive light, and it's going to help them to have a good mindset, not a negative mindset. So as parents, it is important for us to understand that our mindset is the mirror through which our children view us. So we have to reprogram our thoughts. You have to reprogram your thought for you to be able to raise an empowered child, for you to be able to raise that child in the way God wants him to be. So parents, our thoughts are not just ours. Your thought is not just yours. Your thought is the foundation for your children. Is the foundation for who your child will become. Is the foundation for the life of your children. So we have to pay close attention to our thoughts. When you heal as a parent, it helps your child. But when you don't change, when you don't evolve, it also impacts negatively on the life of your child or who your child becomes. So today we have to choose healing. So name that old belief, name that limiting belief. What is that story you've been told over time? What is that story you've been believing? Begin to recreate the narrative. Begin to speak life into yourself and into your home. Because when your mindset becomes healthy as a parent, your children just don't see a mirror. Your children begin to see a model that is possible. When your mindset becomes healthy, your children begin to see a model in front of them that is possible. And yes, it is possible. All we need to do is to work on our mindset. So as a parent, you need to work on your mindset. And I have a book called Becoming a Renewed Parent that can walk you through this journey of working on your mindset. I'm going to drop the link on how you can get a copy of this book. Yes, so you can start your journey of improving on your mindset, empowering yourself, and letting yourself free of any form of negative belief that has been holding you back, so you don't transfer your unhealed self to your children. Rather, you transfer your healed version to your children. I believe this has been helpful. Please like this video, please share this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel called The Renewed Parent Academy. Thank you for your time, and my name is Chama Odikolo. Thank you.